So hello everyone, welcome to the monthly meeting. Before starting our meeting, I have two announcements. As usual, this meeting will be recorded. Please introduce yourself using the chat function by providing your name, contact details, and any other information you want to share with everyone or anyone. This will have twofold benefits. One, that we will know each other, and the other is that I will save this chat to forward you along with the presentation and the recording of this meeting, so it remains with you for future references. Most importantly, we can use our meeting time also for this critical discussion, and therefore we are avoiding just introducing ourselves through verbally. So welcome to the Global Sustainable Futures Progress Through Partnerships April monthly meeting. I'm very grateful to you all that you have made yourself available for this meeting, and I'm sure this event will provide us an opportunity to networking, debating on some interesting concepts, which will also serve as capacity development and knowledge exchange among and between us. So today's agenda is, as usual, I will spend some 15 minutes to go through the network vision, objectives, and activities and projects for the benefit of those who have joined recently, and then go through a few highlights from March newsletter, social activities, and other upcoming activities. And now, as already mentioned, please feel free to introduce yourself through the chat function. And then we will hear from Robin Okello, and he's going to propose his research proposal on climate smart agriculture in Africa from the Uganda perspective. And we will have question and answers following his presentation. Following that, we will spend some 25 minutes or so on the brainstorming session, which will also serve as knowledge sharing, capacity development, and training event. And today's topic is integrating sustainable development goals in curriculum. And these 4 questions I have just introduced from myself. We can talk from whatever the perspective we want to. However, we would try to answer a few questions like, why should we integrate sustainable development goals in curriculum? How should we be doing this? Or what type of design this would require? Or whom should we involve in this? And so on. I appreciate this is a very interesting and complex area, and this is a very short time to discuss it fully. But I'm hoping that this little step will help us gain some understanding and move forward. And finally, we will close the meeting. So what is the vision of this network? Through Global Sustainable Futures Progress Through Partnership Network, we want to play a leading role in creating an inclusive, collaborative, innovative, and engaging network for early career researchers and like-targeted stakeholders, including startups and entrepreneurs, supported by experienced senior researchers, where everyone can share in their knowledge, innovation, visualization, and enthusiasm in parallel to the network's success. And our fundamental objective is to create a strong research environment, building to a multidisciplinary and multi-sectoral team of heterogeneous professionals that would be capable of pursuing and utilizing participatory and integrative approaches in solving public and environmental sustainability problems. And therefore, our priorities are empowering and capacity building, that is working with researchers to empower communities and individuals, increase independence and support those who need it, give researchers and stakeholders the legacy of sustainable practices. Fair and inclusive to improve economic, social, and environmental equality, and pursuing development with which offers fair distribution and access of good quality life and working conditions. Networking and engagement, providing an innovative and global-wide platform to make global sustainable future progress through partnerships, an effective and well-connected network, transforming traditional societal system to more sustainable system. And sustainability is on the top of our all priorities and value, co-creating sustainable and resilient development pathways to secure sustainable futures for all and everyone. So we are committed to investigate what needs to be changed, to initiate projects important to build a sustainable society, to act as an ambassador of SDGs and contribute to research activities of one or more of SDGs, to engage with various relevant stakeholders, to step up, join forces, and build a stable network, having strong mission and mission-oriented approach, to go beyond and establish concrete examples of co-creation, co-designed solutions. And therefore, our key focus will lie on mobilization and engagement. Here, I do not mean mobilization by travel, but mobilization through online, virtual engagement. And here, this is today's example that we meet people from distance world, like distance places, wherever they are in the world. And that is mobilization and engagement. Building a community of practice, create a strong leadership, produce a critical mass of good practices. And we have made tremendous progress, and it is a time to be cheerful. We have 235 coordinators from 68 countries. Last month, we had several opportunities to network and engage with a variety of research groups, which contributed immensely to increasing our network capacity. Having these many coordinators from these many countries establishes that we are a very enthusiastic network with immense strength to contribute to sustainable societies and economies, while contributing to Sustainable Development Goals 2030 and beyond. And I am hoping that this enthusiasm and integrity continues to rise, and we collectively can create real opportunities toward realizing our vision for global sustainable futures. So to achieve these objectives, what activities we do, and let me tell you that. So currently we focus only 3 main activities. Every week we choose one SDG and engage with this SDG through social media accounts. We have WhatsApp group, LinkedIn account, Twitter account, Instagram account, Facebook account, Slack channel, blog page, and Future Earth Circle. So I would urge you all to join these social media accounts. Secondly, every month we engage with strategic and emerging global debate through monthly meetings such as this one. And these meetings serve as networking and capacity development sessions. Finally, most importantly, we develop innovative research projects engaging with global issues, targeting one or more Sustainable Development Goals 2030 and beyond. So this week, we engaged with SDG 14. Coming weeks 2, 3, and 4 of the April month, we will engage with SDG 15, 16, and 17 respectively. So please join the network social media channels and contribute and spread our message and showcase our contribution. So here, I always keep a statistic of our engagement, and you can see that we are developing or evolving, and we are reaching out more people than before. There is another engagement platform that I wanted you to draw attention to, that is Future Earth Circle. Joining this circle will allow you to engage widely with researchers globally. And this is free to join, and I encourage you to join too. And everyone must have been introduced to the Slack channel. Last week only, I started this Slack channel where you can communicate among yourselves and have approach to everyone whom you want to. So please make use of this free channel where we can just go and put your message and it can reach everyone. So monthly meeting topics are like in last January, we had meaningful stakeholder engagement. Then in February, we had systems thinking, transdisciplinarity, and sustainability. In March, we had circular economy. And this month, we have integrated sustainable development goals in curriculum. So you are all invited to debate on this, as well as propose some more discussion topics for future meetings. It would be interesting to know your interest and put forward to the our network for debate. You are also invited to propose any related activities such as project ideas or training or any sort of research related activities which you would like to conduct through this network. Please propose to me a week advance and or immediately if it is available, like if it is only through emails, then please send it to me. We can share through the emails. And if you really want to present something, then give me an advance notice of at least a week so that we can accommodate in the meetings. We can also schedule an extra day if you want that such an activity should be happening in some other time. So here I have received one interesting update or say contribution from Alexis Nizimana. He's from Rwanda Meteorological Agency, and he wanted to bring to our notice this Agenda 2063. He believes that not only looking to 2030, we should be looking at beyond 2030. And I absolutely agree with him. Yes, we need to be looking beyond 2030. And here I have put just some snapshots of what Africa has suggested. And they have produced Africa Agenda 2063. And I think our network vision and objectives are quietly aligned with those. And it would be good if you would like to go into have a deeper understanding of this. Then I have put this link also here in this orange box. You can go and look at it. A future activity we are going to have. So what I have done are to have more exposure and to have contribution from interesting people. I have joined with Future Earth, and I'm going to suggest our network as a working group to those networks. And so aligning with them will give us a wider exposure to the world, as well as we would be able to contribute through their activities. And so this working group is suggested, and I'm going to have, let me first tell you about Future Earth. Future Earth is the largest ever international research and development cooperation focused on long-term sustainability solution for the planet and human societies, and it is supported by a range of leading global institutions. Now, the intention of this webinar is to introduce a new working group that has an objective of working for global sustainable futures, progress through partnerships. And we believe that the awareness, production of knowledge transfer between global North and global South for global sustainable futures is a global agenda and critical and significantly important. However, yet it stands in contrast to the limited success of realizing social change in directions suggested by the knowledge needed for the global sustainable futures. And therefore, this working group is a modest effort to bridge this gap. We seek to invite and engage interlocutors whose work tries to bridge these worlds and grapple with the complexity of bringing about social change and tie in our sustainable future actions and policies. So this working group is the first focusing on academia, society, interaction. And in the first introductory meeting on the 11th of May, 2021, I will be presenting our objectives and activities and discuss how this working group can inspire and enable active interaction. And I am inviting you all to join me, as well as if you want to present something along with me in this webinar, please feel free to send me an email and we can discuss how that can be accommodated or how can that be organized to present in the webinar. I really want everyone to think over this, to reach out to the wider world and join the force with me. So please, if you are interested to present or to shape this webinar or to shape our future working group, please send me your interest and we can discuss. Secondly, Dr. Felix Donker has organized, he is one of our prominent coordinator, and he has organized a webinar on 22nd April, World Earth Day. And the topic is reimagining education amidst COVID-19 for sustainable development and beyond webinar. Beyond, that's the webinar's name. And we have because I also joined in organizing this, and I and Modiba, Morakana Modiba are going to act as a facilitator in this webinar. And we have invited distinguished Professor Hila Sisistka, Dr. Victor Squirrels, Dr. Preshwa Ramsarup, and Professor Jos Esteves to speak on the panel. So you are all invited to join this webinar, and you will find this webinar link and other details through our email. And also it will be distributed later in the nearer to the event. So let me talk about now strides. As I already mentioned that we are carrying out serious projects, and this is the first example that we are doing, and I'm leading on this project. I also want you all to contribute to such projects and also propose your projects so that we can seriously carry out some research projects and show our impact to the wider world. So this project is systemic, transformative, and resilient interventional drivers for education for sustainability, and the acronym is STRIDES. And in part one, or actually I have changed the name and we are saying that it is part 0. In part 0, we have a grand challenge, and we have positioned this paper, and we are developing publication. And one publication is nearly 80% ready, showcasing, establishing a need for societal and systemic transformation, identifying what we must not we must change not only by the methods and technologies used to acquire, deliver excellence knowledge, but also we need to accelerate the, hello, I'm sorry, can you all mute your microphone? Thank you. But also need to accelerate the wide-scale behavior change of how we apply knowledge gathered from various formal channels, community channels, and the knowledge from indigenous knowledge and local knowledge, and apply these for decision-making for sustainable development goals and targets. Education is an important lever for change for sustainability. The way in which education is delivered and acquired within the formal, informal, and non-formal spaces determines our ability to make decisions for sustainability and build a low carbon, climate resilient, just and inclusive society. And that is why education is regarded as a critical success factor for the establishment of paths that provide training for individuals who understand reality in more systemic, integrated, and inter- and transdisciplinary way, contributing to sustainability paradigms. So this is how we have established the position 0, that is part 0 position paper. And then in the part 1, we are trying to collect innovative case studies. And while we are doing innovative case studies on education, it could be from any sort of your process of education. Maybe at a design stage, maybe at a conception stage, maybe as part of a delivery, operational, or impact, whatever. But we want some innovative case studies. But while you are putting those case studies, we are looking to answer these 6 questions, these 5 questions, that how that particular education system or a part of that system stands today, what it needs to look like in future, what transition pathways it can take, how that education system mobilize knowledge capital in service of sustainability transitions, both from the individual perspective, institutional perspective, as well as from the global sustainable development goal perspective. And how can it build strategic portfolios of assets that unlock synergies from combinational effects in wider societal well-being? Now you might think that, okay, I'm not involved in any other case study like this. How can I contribute? Here we are not asking to tell your story. It could be your story, that is most welcome. However, you can go through the literature and find out such innovative cases and then talk about it, which will allow us to get some narratives around this, and you will be invited to write that narrative, and you can be the co-author of that publication. And that is what we are trying to do here. So please take your interest and try to contribute. It has several win-win things here. So now I will stop here for Okele Robin. So let me see if Okele Robin is present today. I don't see Okele Robin. Is Okele Robin present today? All right. I don't see Okele Robin today, so probably we will have to skip this. If he comes on the later time, then we will accommodate him. Right. Okay. Otherwise, he did mention me that he was going to present his proposal. So, okay. If he comes later, we can accommodate him. All right, so now I will stop sharing my screen and we will carry on our brainstorming session, integrating sustainable development goals in curriculum. Okay. Right. So why should we integrate sustainable development goals in curriculum? Please. Anyone who want to speak can unmute your mic and please speak. Yes. Anyone want to share your views?
Okay, this is Michael. I'll share.
Yes, please.
First of all, I tend to think that some SDGs have already been put in the curriculum. For instance, things like gender. There's been a lot of work on gender mainstreaming and in various education curriculum. Probably the one which was now coming in more is the one of climate change. But I think now there's a goal on climate action. And again, we are seeing in lots of education curriculum where now they are trying to include how are you mainstreaming in issues of climate change. I'll speak about only those two. Now, because now the development goals are many, is it 17 or 19? I've forgotten the number. I think, yeah, 17. I think it's also becoming not so easy for one to include all those in education curriculum. So you'll find that those which were already there are already going. For instance, like the goal on food security and poverty, there are people already who are incorporating issues of food security in the curriculum. There've been lots of studies on poverty, you know? So I think the particular sectors or disciplines are already tackling them, but those which are like kind of mainstream, like cross-cutting, are the ones which probably would be, that's why I think of the one of gender and the one of climate change. But the others could be handled, you know, you can now start mainstreaming food security and then poverty, and then, you know, that's my simple contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, for raising these points. I'm very pleased with that. Okay, when you said that you have seen that food security has been integrated, can you give me an example how they have been integrated? Or anyone else who can share your anything?
No, let me clarify. I've not said food security has been integrated.
Then
what I've seen that is integrated is mainly gender and climate change.
All right. Okay. Sorry. And these are remaining. Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you say then gender has integrated? Let us start where we have already seen. You say that gender is integrated. Do you think that the co-teaching, like having a co-school in the sense of like having boys and girls and number of boys and girls in the school, that means that we have integrated gender? Is that what you mean?
No, of course, when we talk of the curriculum, we have to talk about the different levels. You know, there's university education and then high school and the rest. Now, somehow, of course, the concept of gender is perceived differently at different levels. So for some, you start with boys and girls, and you know, but as they go higher, say at university level, then you find that it's being, for instance, in research, people always now consider, hey, did you look at the gender dimensions in research and many of these? And in some universities, there's even what we call gender mainstreaming and affirmative action. And in the curriculum, they also try to incorporate it at different levels, and I would say in different universities. That's what I wanted to say. But definitely, I don't want to generalize that just because someone has included boys and girls, then it's there. No, It's different levels and different universities or different education levels.
Okay, and climate change. How I definitely agree that climate change needs to be integrated in our all subjects and curriculums, but how we do it? Why should we do it? First of all, why should we do it?
I don't want to be a monologue. This will be my last one.
No, please tell, please tell.
Yes. First of all, it's a global phenomena, and there's need for everybody to take action. You just can't say it's the policymakers, it's, Now, I mean, simple actions like switching off your light when you're not using it is something that built towards, and there are quite a number of simple actions. Now, in terms of mainstreaming in the curriculum, it's trying to show everybody that whether it's a school, whether it's a hospital, whatever it is, you've got to do something that cuts down the carbon emission. And that has to come through in the curriculum. And then, but again, we keep saying it has to depend on different levels, whether it's primary, secondary, or university. So how it's going to be done, again, like how they approached the gender mainstreaming, it will have to be incorporated slowly here and there. And of course, someone would say, if I'm in social sciences, what is this? Why should this be in my curriculum? It's a global thing, and you are going to find yourself in some countries, they will tell you have to do ABC in light of climate change. So that's what I'm saying. I can't go into the details right now. Maybe others can too contribute.
Thank you, thank you. And this is really important. Now let me talk about what I understand. And exactly when we are talking about climate change, it is definitely important that we need to raise this awareness throughout everything, because each and every activities are now measured into carbon currency. Our all activities are measured in carbon currency. Why? Because we want to understand that whether it is increasing the carbon in our atmosphere or it is decreasing the carbon in our atmosphere. Because carbon currency, we have related it to global warming phenomena and to the climate change phenomena. And there is like we can't say, like we all now, majority of all of us agree that climate change is a problem due to man-made activities. And these all activities we are now trying to translate into carbon currency so that we can understand where we can reduce that carbon emissions and we can move to sustainable pathway. Now, when I think that why I have taken into, like why I believe it should be in the curriculum, like when we are teaching geography or when we are talking about different regions, we talk about that region that it is hot, it has this physical topography, we talk about rivers, we talk about soil, we talk about their culture, and all sort of things, but we do not relate those activities to how they impact to the climate change, in the sense of if it is a hot country, then if there are such main activities like agriculture or industry or such an activities, what type of crops are growing, then definitely that is going to have an impact on the soil, air, water there, and that collectively will be impacting on such and such area of climate change. And that connection is missing. We have whole area of climate change, and then we are not relating this, all our activities, which are again interrelated to that scenario. Yes, Ashish, please.
Yes, I just want to say that we generally talk about sustainability and everything that is only academics. But in we hear that in practice things are different. I mean, why this kind of a discrimination is there? I mean, whatever is taught in the colleges and academic curriculums has to be taken seriously. I mean, people don't take it seriously, and they say that practical life is different. I think that should not be the case.
Exactly right. Traditionally, we have always done the knowledge to grow our development. We have always thought about the development growth, not about the sustainable development growth. And therefore, this scenario, though we had this sustainability concept from years and years and ages, but our sustainability perception or the framing comes that we should be living long, or we should be having comfortable life, or it was human-centered. Up till now, we never understood that it should be eco and human-centered. Like ecology is the mother of all our economic activity, and we should be taking care of that ecology or the biosphere. And that is the reason. And so we need to change our framing from where we are departing, where we want to go, from where we are departing and where we want to go. And those change we should embed in the education. And therefore, we now want to make these future managers or future educator, whoever coming out of the universities, they should be ready to take the decision for the sustainability. Sustainability should be the highest on their value when they are taking any decision. And therefore, we should be imparting those values or those practices within our knowledge dissemination. Yes, anyone else? Yes, Ashish, do you want to speak more?
Yeah, it should be just part of a system, not just away from the system, and people are just talking hi-fi about sustainability and they're not doing anything about it. That's not the case that I think should practically happen. And that is exactly what is happening.
Yes.
When we have so many sources of renewable sources of energy, and still we are still focusing on the what you say, conventional sources of energy. So that is not the case that should happen.
Yes, certainly. Definitely, we should be going for renewable source of energy, but we know that there are some challenges for this renewable source of energy, and therefore we need to work very hard to understand those challenges and to address them. The new technology is not only the answer, but the diffusion of technology along the behavior of people and then decision making for having those technology, trying out, understanding it, and these all things are needed. Yes, anyone else want to speak, please?
Dr. Renuka, maybe if I could come in there.
Yes, please.
I mean, otherwise there's this, what I call a silicon silence, where you hoping someone's going to say something and then no one does.
Exactly.
But the thing I wanted to say was that, you know, your theory of change is that by making people aware of the importance of the SDGs and bringing SDGs into the curriculum, that you're going to change their behavior, first of all. And secondly, that you're going to sufficiently empower them with knowledge that they can then change institutional behavior when they are going out into the broader world. And I mean, I think that the problem with that theory of change is that it's first of all very difficult to change people's minds about, or opinions or perspectives or ontologies, if you like, about how the world is and what the important things are and why they do the things that they do. So, I mean, I teach a course in energy value chains and I teach a course in sustainability transitions, and it interests me that I always do a poll in my class. I do a before and after poll to see whether I've been able to change people's minds. And I never can. The 50% of the class say that they support renewable energy before the course, and 50% of the class say that they support renewable energy after the course, where the evidence is so clear that they need to be brought into the world of renewable energy. They have to embrace renewable energy for all the millions of reasons that we know and understand. So it always surprises me that I'm spectacularly ineffective at being able to change people's minds. And as a consequence of that, and I don't think it's just my bad teaching, if you like, I think it's a general experience. If we all were to go away and do the poll, we would find the same result. So that's the first problem that we face as educators in this field, where we're talking to people about, for instance, climate change and designing new energy systems. The second problem is that even people who want to change the world, when they go out, they face what we call historical institutionalism, which is a very powerful structural forces that prevent change. So change isn't something, I mean, you know, when we're young and naive and hopeful, we believe we can change the world. But after 15 years of working in the world, you realize it's not that easy. And so historical institutionalism is a very real thing. And in a way, you know, you and I and people in this forum, we believe in the power of discourse. We believe in the power of thought and logic and rationality. And we believe that if we can just show people that this is the right thing to do, that they will do that and their institutions will do that. But that's not the case. And so I'm just suggesting that in the kinds of activities that you want to do in this group, that the questions that you pose are not the right questions in the beginning. The questions that you pose would be exactly the two that I've indicated, which is, first of all, how can we be more effective as educators in changing hearts and minds of students so that they become intermediaries or advocates for the kind of society that we want to bring into place? And then secondly, how do we support agents, people who feel they have an agency, who are able now, they're willing and enthusiastic about changing things? How do we support them in the work that they need to do? And I think those are two much more useful questions, and they, I think, reflect much more closely the theory of change that we have to implement if we want to be teaching in this field of transformation and transition.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else want to speak? Yes, Estela, please, you are muted.
So, good morning. Should I keep my camera open or should I close it?
No, please keep your camera open.
Okay.
Everyone is welcome to keep your camera open, please.
Okay. Well, good morning to everybody. I'd like to talk about your question from a slightly different point of view. It is very important for us to teach in order to change individual behavior. But I think that SDGs will be implemented through public policies, through collective action. And this collective action is not always very easy to understand by our students or by people in general. Public policies that need to change in order to meet SDGs are often complex, and people often doesn't feel capable to influence or to decide or even to understand what is discussed. So I think that it's very important at every level that we should educate people in order to act with more agency on public policies and to clarify the links between scientific knowledge, individual action, and collective action. And this can be this is need multi-level strategies, not only within classroom, but also in many other activities extra class. Well, this is what I would like to contribute for the moment.
Yes, thank you, Estella. Thank you. Yes, and that I believe that not only formal education, and I am also not talking about formal education, I'm talking about informal education, formal education, or wherever the communication or our each and every activities, we need to take a decision on based of our sustainability value. And that we should just, our principles should be sustainability, and that we should understand and do it. It is very difficult. It is very difficult. But even like just now before, Michael gave us an example that when we are switching off the light, we must think that yes, switching off the light is going to contribute to our sustainable goal. It is going to save energy from my side, which would be later be distributed to anyone in the world, or that change would happen that one another person will get that percentage of light if I save that. And we should be having such a mindset. And yes, I completely agree with David that it is not straightforward. It is not straightforward. It is very difficult. And again, as Estella said, we will have to have multi-level strategies. Like it should be having the veggies of all strategies in an arc, that where we can put this. Let me share just one slide here of my one presentation, and probably I can give you one what I mean. Here, we have been all very, I think, disciplinary, like discipline. We have been expert in disciplines, and therefore we have empirical knowledge that what exists. And we have also put into pragmatic level, which is like what we are capable of doing. And then again, we have also applied that in a different areas such as design, planning, politics, that is normative levels, that what we want to do and achieve through those expertise. But now there is a time to add one more level, which is value level. What are our values? What are our ethics? What are our philosophy? And what we must do with all this knowledge. And that is very, very important. And I think I'll stop sharing. And I think we should be not, and the knowledge or any change or in curriculum should be focused on just the university level or higher education level, but it should start from the school. It should start from home. It should start from each individual, and then only I think we will be able to make any difference. Yes, anyone else?
I want to raise
Yes,
one point.
Ashish.
During my schools, when I was in UK, that time I heard about some concept called cause, communication, and action. So these three phases are there in any research framework. So I think we have passed the cause phase and we are into communication phase. So soon we will be reaching the action phase. That's what I hope.
Yeah, UK is definitely a leader in all these things, and most schools have several activities which teach students to be sustainable, in a sense of just now we are only talking about waste and energy, which is most common, I think, throughout the world, that we should not be wasting, or we should be reusing waste in a sense of a circular economy, not completely, but still a part of circular economy we are trying to adopt in our lifestyle. And about energy, because both has a cost saving. Here again, we are actually assessing our decisions from the economic point of view. We are not still having a fair decision. We are not including that how this is going to share or how it is going to be beneficial to the distant part of the world, anyone in the distant part of the world. With poverty, we have done a good job in last 10 years that we have we have achieved some decrease in the percentage of poverty, but however, we have not done at all good in inequality. And here I'm talking about inequality in everything, resources, and all sort of actions, whatever you think, there is a wide inequality. And that is what we need to fill the gap. We need to bring it to lower the, we need to lessen the inequalities among ourselves. Yes, anyone else, please? Oh, I think if someone wants to speak, please come. Otherwise, we can stop this discussion. All happy? Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. Yes,
My name is
Monela. Yes, please.
I am Manuela from Brazil, from Noroeste. In relate to these questions and this topic, I keep thinking and trying to understand how we can evaluate the consistent and and how the students keep this knowledge, you know, and how this knowledge transform in actions, in real actions towards sustainable practice in their lives or in the company. Here in Brazil, we have policies that direct sustainable the education for sustainability, but it's difficult to see these interdisciplinary actions inside the course, and I have difficult to see if this is really giving knowledge and understanding about this topic and this importance in real life, you know, in the practice.
I completely understand. I completely understand. And thank you for your this feedback. It is very difficult, but we have just started this, you know, journey, right? And I think collectively, when we are all together with small steps, I think we can make a change. And that is what we want to do. And we have just started. We have just started this journey. And so it will be interesting to see how we can do it. Okay, so just the last screen, let me just share the last slide saying thank you. And so thank you very much. And I would ask you all to join the social media channels, our discussions. You are also welcome to propose any research project. You know that we have 64 countries and so many coordinators, very enthusiastic and experts in different areas. And you can ask me if you want, where I can engage with you to anyone who are particularly interested in your topic and so on. I will just go through a few of these comments here. So yes, David is saying that I agree that public policy is important. Not all my students are from government, unfortunately. So do we consider that teaching students who are not policy practitioners is not worthwhile? Oh no, I perfectly agree that this teaching should be to everyone, not only in politics. though having a political area, it becomes more responsible, like you become more responsible to having such understanding and knowledge and taking such decisions. It becomes absolutely important for them. I think that teaching, Estella is saying that I think that teaching for better civic practitioners on all phases of the policy cycle is as crucial as teaching for better policy makers. Yes, policy makers, policy cycle, but what I have understood that each and every individual must be responsible for their activity. So if we are having such policies, then it is our responsibility. We have to take our ownership to contribute to that policy with a judged mind. Yeah. Sandy is saying, I'm excited to be the part of the group. I just joined the group and will look to participate in the future. I just saw this meeting and logged in, but have to run. Looking forward to more with this group, such valuable work. I want to contribute my talents, and I find major barriers to success within the government agency. Academia can play an important role. Yes. And Ashish says, it's quite possible that the students may develop interest in the subject and join the government service. Yes, it could be possible. I think we need to have governance policy for ourselves as well, you know, to be more effective. And this is my intention was to just throw this out a network to everyone to come and exchange your knowledge. And I think that is what I took as part of my policy. And everyone should do this in their own capacity, in their own resources, and in their own, you know, lifestyle, whatever it matches and whatever they think that could be sustainable for themselves and for others also. So yeah, any other your views, opinion you want to share? Anyone is you know, welcome to speak. I think that is absolutely silence there. Anyway, yes, Ashish, would you like to speak?
Yes, I just would like to thank Renuka ji for everything, and it was really remarkable effort that she has made. And such meetings will definitely help us in growing towards sustainable future.
Thank you, Ashish. The idea is, like, we have several webinars where panels and expertise come and speak, right? But here we have had a different approach that anyone can come and speak. And this also makes us think, oh, okay, there are other perspectives coming from the distance world, and we can understand. And that's why we have kept this open floor. I want to speak as less as I can, but because of the silence, I need to speak. And I also welcome others to propose some interesting topics so that we can bring them here and discuss them. So everyone, thank you very much for joining today, and wish you a very good weekend. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.